Okay, so as I've said, today we will try to talk about Eudamed, and I have with me the Eudamed guru, if I can say, which is Richard Houlihan. The idea of today is to do two things: to just explain more about the legacy devices, because we had this announcement, and also maybe at the same time to explain to you the rollout of the Eudamed database, so when it will be available. And also the second thing is to answer any of your questions. So please, if you have any questions, just write that on the comments, and I will try to pick that. I will try to find that on the comments, and then to ask them directly to Richard Houlihan. So we have around 1 hour now for this session, and I hope it will be really a helpful session for you. So let's now make Richard Houlihan enter. Hey, Richard. Yeah, Richard is here. Hi, Richard.
Hey, wow, that's some list of people.
You see?
Yeah.
What amazes me is the fact that it's from really all over the world, and it's really what is really interesting here, because the objective is not to just speak about that to European people. It's really to help everybody that is trying to place devices on the market. And I think Udemy is really a topic that is a bit complicated sometimes. So let's try to make some clarity on this. Richard, maybe just for people that don't know you, because I'm sure a lot of people knows you, but in case they don't know you, so please, can you just make a small introduction of who you are, maybe what is Eudamed.EU?
Okay. As Monir said, my name is Richard Houlihan. I've in excess of 25 years in IT. I joined the commission regarding Udemy in 2011. And I remained with the commission and Udemy-3 until 2019. God, the years are running into each other. So between the 8 years in the commission running the IT teams that was creating Udemy-3 and our own Udemy.EU, which is support, training, software, anything to do with Udemy, just come talk to us. We're actually the only company, or I'm the only person, let's put it that way. I'm the only person who was directly involved in the creation of Udemy-3, the one that's just been delayed, but the only one that was involved in that who's actually in the private sector. Everybody else is relying on the documents and things, and sometimes on what I'm telling them. But anything Udemy, just come talk to us. I recognize actually a lot of the names in there as well. You mentioned Teresa.
Yeah. Me too. Really,
great.
Yeah. So, okay, so Richard. So, what I wanted first to start with is just to have some clarity now on the Eudamed rollout. So, rollout plan. So, actually, we have one module that is available. We had one module that was planned in a few months, but apparently now it's like postponed, and we have the other modules. And the idea now is just maybe you give some clarity about what is happening there, and I mean, when should we expect to have a full Eudamed available?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the actors module where everybody registers for their SRNs and registers their users for using Udemy, that went live on December 1st. Fantastic. It's only 9 months late, but it did go live. Thankfully, we have it. Some of the competent authorities, incidentally, are not validating yet.
Yeah, I saw that also. I had some people that said to me, Monir, Switzerland, for example, they said no because of this MRS situation. I heard somebody from Germany, but another person from Germany said it's okay. So I don't know, but I saw some people that said to me, oh, my authority doesn't approve Eudamed.
There is a lot of the German authorities, not all of them, but some of them, that are not touching it. They're not going to touch it until May 26th. I've seen some people in France that had problems.
Okay.
So far, we've registered companies in Croatia, and God bless Croatia. They're fantastic. They're very, very fast, very, very good. And the same with Spain. I had some very good interactions in Spain. Sweden, Poland. Poland, I've got a bit of some slow ones, but a bizarre one for the authorized representatives. The authorized representative is supposed to register, and then when the manufacturer registers, the manufacturer uploads this mandate. Some of the competent authorities are asking the authorized representatives to show their mandates.
Okay.
Which is bizarre. And there's no allowance for it in Udemy. You cannot upload these documents in Udemy. So suddenly you end up in this email discussion or whatever. But getting back to the actual modules, certificates and devices were supposed to be released in May.
Okay.
And excuse me, everything was going fine. Everything was on track as it always is. And then, oh, hang on, somebody just mentioned there's a lot of problem having difficulties seeing the stream.
Yeah, apparently I will just have a look quickly, but so if you go on my profile, maybe I can say that if you go on my profile, I'll just share the link to people on my profile. So if you go to the last thing I posted, you can see that, because yeah, I don't know how LinkedIn is doing to advertise people that the live is ongoing, but
yeah,
I just did that. So
you're recording it anyway, so people can.
Yeah, I'm recording anyway, but I just placed that in my profile. So if people want to go there, they can go and then they can find it. So let's try to see if this is working. I will place it maybe here. Let's see. Yeah, here it is also on it is also on the invitation. So I created also a LinkedIn event, and it's also there, so you can also see that there. Okay, so let's try to see that. Okay, now it's good. Okay, thank you, Anna.
I'll keep going. So yesterday, the European Commission updated one word on their website. They changed May to September.
And I was asking, just for people, I was asking you just before the stream here, how are you knowing that they changed this small word? Because it's like one word in a full. I mean, I can just show that maybe to people on this full page. Let me share the screen, share the page here. So you have here the page where I mean it's the Eudamed accept cookie Eudamed page here, and you have all the modules, and here you have this word here, September 2021, and before it was May 2021. Correct?
Lunchtime yesterday.
Yeah, but there was no alert, so I think you have really a good eye to find these kind of changes.
So what it actually means for people is not really an awful lot, because you still have to prepare your data. You still have to get everything ready. The only difference is the voluntary period has been shrunk a little bit. Okay. And it was going to be voluntary between May 2021 and May 2022, but the only difference is it's pushed back a little bit. My understanding is they're just making 100% on the software. They're doing some final tests, and with summertime coming, with COVID-19 and people working all over the place, sometimes these things aren't as easy to coordinate, but they're still coming. For the other three modules, your vigilance, clinical investigations, performance studies, and post-market surveillance, currently the commissioner is saying they will be released in May 2022.
Okay.
That's all we have to go on.
Okay. So I cannot ask you, are you sure? It's not something that you can answer then.
I wouldn't like to second guess them, because there's I know the team. I know 90% of the team, because they did bring in some new people, but they have a very, very good and a very, very strong team working in there. And these guys are giving it all. They've been sitting, most people have only started looking at Udemy recently, which is terrible. You should have been doing it a year ago. But these guys in the commission's team, in the IT teams, there's about 25 of them now. They've been living with Udemy for the last 5 years nearly. 2016, They started working on the actors module. So they're, I must admit, giving it all.
Okay. Okay, so actually we have these dates that are, if I can say, defined. The only thing that is written, if I can say, on the EUMDI is the fact that it will be mandatory to use Udemy only when everything will be available, fully available.
Fully functional.
So it means that even if we are releasing modules now, it's like voluntary. And until everything is available, then we can start the clock, if I can say, to say now it will be mandatory from this date.
Yeah. be very careful on the fully functional thing.
Yeah.
Because there is a strong possibility, again, I'm not saying it's anything that's come from the commission, but there's a strong possibility that these guys could turn around and make sure, or bring an implementing act or something like that, that changes the regulations, which could mean that the actors' devices certificates, and we'll say vigilance, we'll say those 4 are live, but then there's a delay in the following 2. So they could actually make it mandatory with only some of them. So while they have given May 2022 as the fully functional date, they'd also given March 2020 as the fully functional date.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, in fairness. I mean, I was running the teams until beginning of April 2019, and we were on track. Everything was going great. But
and you left. It's your fault.
Things happen.
Okay, we have one comment here from Romuald. So Romuald is just saying to you regarding the authorized representative problem, and apparently the Polish competent authority also has made this stopped, if I can say, the process because of the lack of the agreements. But I mean, if you have 10 customers and I mean, at the end, which agreement you will show, 1 or all the 10 or whatever? I don't know how this is working.
I know with one of the competent authorities I was dealing with, they just wanted to see one mandate. They didn't want to see all of them. They just wanted to see one. Okay.
So mainly this is something that maybe will change, or they will understand that it's not really working on that way, so that we can start. There is a question here from Anna. What is the question? Hi, Risha, when exactly do we start with the playground for UDI and certification module for testing?
My understanding is that the new playground will be put up there in March. But there's always a but with this stuff. Anybody who had access to the playground previously, it's gone. They just deleted the lot. So it's only the companies that have managed to register currently that had to because you have to register completely with the acceptance side or with the playground as you do with production, and you get a different SRN and things like that. But not all the competent authorities are updating, or not all the competent authorities are even validating for the playground. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Okay. Satish has a big question.
Okay.
I think he's talking more about pharmaceutical, but he's asking maybe if there is something, the same process within Eudamed. So maybe you know more than me. What is it meant here?
Oh, Satish, I don't know enough about that side of things.
Yeah, me too.
All I can tell you about Eudamed is that when the manufacturer registers all their products, they're not immediately public. I mean, for certain classes there are, but for the classes that require certificates, they don't go public. They're not fully registered until the notified body adds their until the notified body adds the certificates, and then the link automatically kicks in. And on the next sync between the 2 databases, because the databases are separate, there's one for the public and the one that people are actually using. It's security and safety and making sure things don't crash. So then once the certificate and the device are connected, then it will go public. But just one very quick one for Rommel there, who's asking for MDD or MDR requirement. To be honest, Rommel, I submitted, I actually think it was an MDR mandate for this particular company. But all you need is an agreement with them. The commission actually gave you an example of what the agreement should look like or what it includes.
Yeah, it's only that.
Yeah, just keep your fingers crossed, maybe talk nicely to them.
I mean, I had some people that had their application rejected, and they had just maybe forgot one name or whatever, so they will tell you anyway what is missing or what is there. Yeah, the same also for as we talked about Switzerland. Turkey is on the same situation actually. So Turkey, Switzerland, UK are not admitted in Eudamed. This is correct. So because as we remember, so Turkey and Switzerland is because of Brexit, Swixit and Turksit, because they have an agreement to sign under EU MDR before 26th of May 2021. It's why maybe one of, as I say, one of the contact I had said, oh, the Swiss Medic doesn't want to talk about Udame for now until the MRA is signed. So I think it's the same for Turkey. So
for Switzerland, I don't know is it true or false. I heard through the grapevine that there's an agreement going to be signed on the 23rd of May.
So 3 days before.
So at the moment, Switzerland and Turkey, the countries do not exist in UDAMED. So if you go try and register, it ain't there. For the UK ex Northern Ireland is there, but Northern Ireland is not there. And the people in Northern Ireland, or the companies in Northern Ireland, they cannot register at the moment. But again, this is a process they're going through, and Northern Ireland will eventually be added. I think it's UKNI or something is going to be the country. But that's just one that you're going to have to keep an eye on. As soon as I get the information, I'll put it up on LinkedIn anyway, and so will Monir.
Yeah. Okay, another question from Henry Green. So if the products are class 1 that do not need a notified body, is the UDAMED process different? I don't think the same.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
There is no difference if class 1, 2A, 2B, or 3, you have to register the economic operators, you have to register your products. If there is any issue, you have to report that on the different modules. So yeah, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, but you don't have to, for the class 1s, you don't require the notified body for the certificate side.
It's just that the certificate is not required, or the notified body number is not required, but all the rest is there. Where can we find the information on which competent authority has already validated? Is there a database to say this authority is fine and this one is not?
There's the open site from the commission. I'm just going to pull it up here, and I'll paste in the link where you can search. Where are we gone? Because this is the public site. This is the public site where all the information is going to be. I'll just click into economic operators.
Here, the public site, yeah.
Now, where do I type this in here?
I don't know. there is
private chat. I've got that one, so I think that goes to you, Monir.
Okay, let me show
so
you.
You can figure out how to talk to people. Okay.
No, it's fine. So I will show that to people. So I will put that. I will put that somewhere. I don't know, but here is.
Because I can't see anywhere in the comments that I can.
It's here.
Yeah, and then you click on the economic operators at the bottom.
And then competent authority here.
Then you just search. You can search for anything.
Okay, so here are all the competent authority that are authorizing, if I can say Udemy, I suppose.
Yeah.
Germany, France.
Click on any one and press search.
So here are, but this is all the competent authority, economic operators within this competent authority.
Yeah, that have already been validated.
Exactly, that have already. So you manufacturer, authorized representative, and you have the names of the companies, the country. So here you have to choose first the country. As I've said, you have to choose the competent authority, and then you can see if this is something that is fine, is approved by your country or not. And here you have a lot of, as you said, you have a lot of authorities here in Germany. So each states or regions have their own, if I can say, number here. There is a lot in Germany.
There is, isn't it? Yeah.
And
Germany is a huge country, though.
Denmark is one, Spain is one, Finland is one, France is one, Greece is one, Hungary is one, Ireland is one, etc. So all the other are one, but only Germany for now has.
Germany has loads of them.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I hope this answers the question. What else do we have? I have the question from Anis, but I will just look at that after because we are talking about that after. Udemy is for all medical. Yeah, do not particular class every manufacturer. Exactly. So thank you, Satish. I just do you have news about Article 87.9 about PSR probability? What is that?
And Antonella, I'm sorry, my direct memory of the whole thing is very limited.
Okay. So I think maybe
I know the PSR is going to be in there. I know the PSUR is going to be there.
Yeah. There is the modules that will be available, but yeah, I think
that's all part of the vigilance module. I think is that
vigilance? nothing is known until the post-marketing surveillance and vigilance module will be available then, yeah. How long does it take to reset the SRN after registration? Usually 1 week.
Like I said, the Croatians were the best I came across. It was a couple of days.
Yeah, I think for
there was others.
When I registered the authorized representative in France, it was like 3 days, 4 days.
Okay, that's pretty good.
But they had made first check. They find an issue on the document, so I had to resubmit another document, and then they reviewed, and it was like a few days. So it's not a lot, but this depends on the competent authorities, because it depends on how many people they have on the other side, if I can say, to review, because they have to review your company to review that everything is fine before to approve it and then to make it fine. But usually it depends on, it's human, so it's a manual process, so it depends on people.
I've had some of them sitting there for 3 months. I got up early on December 1st and filled in as many as I could, because we're registering loads of companies. And then some of them are just sitting there. Nothing.
So yeah, it's really random.
It ruined my excitement.
Okay, so I wanted to discuss the legacy devices. So we have these documents. I will just remove this one. We have these documents. So that was issued by the EU Commission related to legacy devices. So this is mainly explaining for devices that are not EU MDR certified, that don't have a UDI number, that maybe do not have a UDI under MDR. And that need to be registered within Eudamed also. So can we have an explanation maybe of what is the context of using legacy devices with Eudamed?
Okay, excuse me. So when the whole when Eudamed-3 started, because we're now talking about Eudamed-3, the Commission also call it MDR Eudamed, even though it covers both MDR and IVDR, but they still refer to it as Medical Device Regulation Eudamed. So currently Eudamed-2 is in place, and Eudamed-2 is where all the legacy devices are. And the only people who get to see Eudamed-2 are the competent authorities and the Commission. When the notified bodies upload the NCARs, the issues that may have happened, they give them to the competent authority, and the competent authority uploads. So even the notified bodies don't get to see it. I was under the impression, and we'd always agreed within the IT team and within there's a very strong business team for Eudamed as well, but within the business team, they had decided that there was never going to be a transfer of data between Eudamed-2 and Eudamed-3. Data in Eudamed-2, it's a bit not great sometimes. So the IT team proceeded with the idea that there was going to be no legacy devices. We were only MDR, IVDR, that's it. There was a few discussions back and forth between member states and the MDCG, and eventually the Commission were told, they weren't asked, they were told, you will make allowances for legacy devices. And the MDCG decided that legacy devices would only have to be uploaded under certain circumstances. Excuse me. So you can upload all your legacy devices if you want. That's fine. The option is there. But there's only 2 times that you have to. No discussion, you have to upload them. The first of them is if the device goes on the market for the first time after Eudamed is fully functional.
Okay.
Now, the chances of that happening in 2022, there's going to be very few brand new MDD devices appearing, but there's a possibility. The second time you have to, and this is very serious, if there's a vigilance issue, if there's a serious vigilance issue, you can only report that vigilance issue if the device is already in Eudamed. So you have to make sure that you've at least collated all your data, got it all together, and you're not relying on Joe, the IT guy, to go dig it out from somewhere, and he's on holidays and the data's gone, and suddenly you're too late with your serious incident, and the competent authority comes to visit you. Then you're in trouble. So just make sure you have all that data ready. So, okay, that's fine. So that's when you have to put in your legacy devices. But not all devices have UDIDs.
Yeah.
Some of the ones in Europe have them, especially if they were selling to the US, etc. And I remember being on one working group, and it was quite a bizarre situation because this was being explained to industry. And somebody says, well, what do we do if we already have UDIDs? And that was going to cause a huge problem for us in the IT team. And there was a comment that says, well, maybe you shouldn't be selling them with UDIDIs, but there was a bit of a flippant comment. So it then dropped on the IT team to come up with some ideas, because the central key of the database was always going to be the UDIDI. So a central key, you can only have one. You can have multiple versions of it, but you can only have one key. You can never duplicate things like that. So then how do you square the hole where the American devices that already have their DIs, they want to keep them. They don't want to go through the whole pain of reissuing these. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, I had one comment from one lady. She wanted European DIs.
Okay.
So I said, fine. I said, you can do it, but you don't have to do it. And I'm not sure how the comment fell with her, but she didn't come back to me anyway. But if you want to upload your, and this is the core of this particular document that Monir is showing there. If you want to upload your current legacy devices, and it doesn't matter how old the products are, if there is an issue, or if you just want to upload them, and you don't have a DI code, then you have to create one. You've got two choices. You can log into Udemy, you can manually type in and push a button that says generate. That's for one UDI-DI. But if you have a lot of devices that you want to upload, then you have to generate them yourselves. You have to actually go through this document. There's a very long, painful algorithm in there. It took me a bit of time to go through it. And it's not explained fantastically well.
Yeah.
It's based on the GS1 algorithm. And what it does is you supply your SRN. I'll give you the simple one. You supply your SRN, and then you supply a device code. And you remove all the hyphens and concatenate those two. You put them together. After that, there's several mathematical equations which you have to go through, all to end up with two letters at the end.
Which I find really I mean, I was using the model for GS1 to create the basic UDIDI, because you have the GS1 generator for creating of the UDIDI, and you had this methodology, like you put your information, the company information, the product information, and then it calculates by itself the final number. But here it's like giving you the recipe, but so will company will have to do that by themselves, so they can get that directly from the the Udemy database, or how is it working here?
This is like the IKEA version of IT, where you have to build everything yourself.
Okay, because just for the transition, so because I looked at, then I saw that you have also this. I have uploaded that. Let me share it. Maybe I saw that you have also this template that you have created.
Yes.
Let me share it.
No.
Where for me it was easier to go through that. So for people that have already got this, so Richard is proposing this template where you can create your Eudamed-DI number. So can you explain maybe how it's working so that we can make a test now?
Okay, the commission said that you could use the SRN and the device code, or just the device code.
Okay.
But if somebody else happens to have the exact same device code, and you're both trying to upload your device, one of you is going to fail.
Yeah.
So we put together a template, and within the template, we're forcing you to enter your SRN and the device code, because I didn't want any of my clients and anybody who's downloading this, I didn't want anybody being in the position where they suddenly try to upload and they get refused, and then they come back to me and go, look, we used your codes, it failed for us. So SRN plus the device code. And
so here we have the SRN. So start with the IE, MF, I think it's for manufacturer. And then you have
9 digits.
Exactly, 9 digits for the things. And then here you have the product code. So let's create a code like alpha, a product code like called alpha 001. So let's say that it's fine.
Yeah, and it could only be 7 digits, 7 characters long for the device code.
7, 8. Is it fine or?
Oh, maybe it's 8. Hang on, press the button and see.
Yeah. Oh, it's generating. Yeah, it's fine. So here you are generating the basic UDID and the UDID. Which
now, one of them is the Eudamed-DI and the other one is the Eudamed-ID.
But here we should maybe change the wording here.
Yeah, actually, it's a good point. It's a good point.
How I call it this one, Eudamed-DI?
I think the first one is the DI and the other one is the ID. I'd need to read back on that one just to make 100% sure. But when you're uploading to Udemy, you don't specify in your XML tags that this is the Eudamed-DI. You're still going to specify in your XML tags, this is the basic UDI. The issuing entity for these is Udemy. And then you can you go from there.
Okay, so let's make it just here for people.
And incidentally, when you're uploading your legacy device to Udemy, if you already have a UDID, then Udemy will generate the fake basic UDI, because it is a fake basic UDI. And for anybody who generates these things, these are not for labels. These are not for publicizing your products anywhere. This is only for Udemy, for nothing else. And it's just so you can get your legacy devices into Udemy.
Yeah, we are not asking you, for example, the UDID to place that on the product as on the product, whatever. So this is really for only as a reference, so to track your products inside the Udemy database as a legacy device. Yeah. And to have those information, but you should not use that exterior outside of the Udemy database. So here, what is interesting with your thing is the fact that you can create that, and you can create, if I can say, alpha 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I can do generate, and it's generating all the codes for all the products at once. So it's not like I do one by one here.
Yeah, it's very quick as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you see?
I was surprised.
If you have a lot of products, you can put all the names here and you get all the products codes here directly. So then it's...
Yeah, and like I mentioned to you earlier on when we were talking, even if companies don't need this, if they're good programming this themselves, they can always use this to double check their data. They can just use it as a test. So if you're getting X answer from your machine, you can get X answer from mine. Now, I'm going to say one shout out here, Monir. I just got a text from my sister. My sister's come in to see what I do for a living. So, hello, Paula.
Hey, Paula. So thank you for that. So people, so you can get that. Where can you get that? So you can get that.
It's on our website, Eudamed.EU, and I think it's under the resources menu.
Yeah, I will just go there now. Let me show that. Share. So it is here. So it is here, and you have to go to resource menu and Udemy-DI generator. Yeah. And then when you go there, you have just to place your name and email, and you receive that per email directly. So
and it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
It's probably the only thing I'm ever going to give away free.
So you have to take advantage of that. Okay, so let's look if there is other questions from people. What about, let me check quickly. Let's go up. There was a lot of information. How long does it take? It's fine, I will look at that. What if my valid MDD certificate is from Turkish origin and the need to be ready for UDI requirements is case of example of incident? For me, any MDD certificate, for me, it's my personal opinion. Any MDD certificate from a Turkish origin, from a Turkish notified body that exists after the 26th of May 2021, and that where there was no agreement with the EU Commission for the Turkish government is not valid anymore. This is my personal opinion because I had some arguments with people on that. But if the country is not under EU MDR, then all the requirements for EU MDR are not applicable. So even the Article 123, which is the one describing the transition period, which is authorizing the MDD certificate under this period is not applicable anymore because this country cannot apply EU MDR.
Yeah.
So all notified bodies that are within this country that cannot apply EU MDR cannot be notified bodies under EU MDR or under even MDD. And it means that all their certificates cannot work anymore. But I don't know, because maybe EU will come with some solutions to make some transition period or whatever. But for now, it's the same as the Brexit discussion we had. As soon as UK is out of the EU, then all the notified bodies that are in the UK are not able anymore to provide the EU MDD certificate. And we discussed that with Eric Volbrecht also on the podcast about Brexit. So it's exactly the same here for Switzerland and for Turkey. So if the MRA is signed with Switzerland on the 23rd of May 2021, then we can save maybe those companies that are in Switzerland for being exempt of MDR. But for Turkey, I haven't heard anything. So maybe they will sign also an agreement before the 26th of May 2021. But if they don't sign it, any certificate for me, any certificate under MDD is not valid anymore. But maybe some people have some other arguments on that.
But as soon as an agreement is signed, the Commission will issue guidance. They will issue a big, long document that'll put you to sleep, but they will issue it.
Yeah. Let me check another question. Eudamed also indicates the obligation regarding clinical investigation. Yes. So we have, there is a module for clinical investigation under Eudamed, and this one will be also available later.
I'm smiling away about the idea of clinical investigations because I've seen what's coming. It is huge.
Really?
It is double the size of any of the other modules. The actual requirements on people are extensive, and there's all these timed events where it goes to Monir, he has to sign and validate something, then he's got 1 week for someone else to do it. It really is a major undertaking that this particular module. So just be ready for a big surprise when it does turn up.
Okay. We have the hello from Joe Hag. So hey, Joe Hag.
Hey, Joe.
From the MDG Premium Group. So if you don't know, so Joe Hag is managing the MDG Premium, which is a group where a lot of medical device experts are there. And he's also doing every Friday a presentation. So maybe just after me, so you can go to his presentation directly after that. So
nice.
Which is great. Can we use the same UDI for legacy devices and for MDR devices? And this is a good question because it's also on the document. It tells you how to link the legacy devices and MDR devices. So can we use that?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But when your legacy device is being uploaded directly to Udemy or added in directly to, we'll go with the uploaded first. If it's being uploaded, then your fake basic UDI has to start with a D hyphen and the exact same DI code. And then the UDI-DI is a B hyphen and your actual UDI-DI code. And then when time comes for your MDR, you just upload it as normal. But for the legacy one, you do have to have this B and D hyphen in front of the actual codes.
Yeah, I was just looking at the questions of Diana. So Diana is asking, is there a software? Is there any software we can use to get the basic UDID? So I wanted just to show something. Let me see if this is working. It's turning. Yes, it's here.
You keep talking. I'm just pouring out some water here just in case you hear strange sounds.
Take the lead, no problem. So for basic UDID, if you are using GS1, which is one of the providers, there is also HIBCC and ICC-BBA, but GS1 is the biggest one, the first one. So mainly what they have a web page. So you just write GS1 basic UDID generator on Google, and you arrive to the first page here, the first one here. And you arrive here, and it's exactly the same principle as what Richard just talked about his generator. So it's the same. So you have the UDI, the GS1 company prefix. So let's make it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have an internal number or a model number. So like we said before, the alpha 001, for example. And here the check here is the last 2 digits that are not available now. So you just calculate here. It calculates the 2 digits here. So GT, and you put that here. And you validate, and here you have now your basic UDI-DI for your products. And you do that with every product that you have, any reference. So you just change the reference of products and you get that now, the basic UDI for a product. So it's the same principle as what has Richard done. It's just that GS1 is having this page available directly. So you go to gs1.org services GMN generator, GMN dash generator. So you have that here. I cannot paste that anywhere because it's
that's the problem I had.
I saw that also, so I cannot paste that. But
there's actually 4 issuing entities. There's the IFA as well.
Yeah, IFA. But the problem with IFA I have is the fact that they are not international for now. They are just European, apparently, which I don't know if it's good for having this for US market also and other markets.
Right.
I heard about that, but maybe there is some changes to that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check if there is, what is the difference about, okay, yeah. I mean, this is the basic one maybe for you. What is the difference between actor module and device module?
The actors module is where all the economic operators register, and then their users register as well. The device module, this is literally where you upload all the device data. Somebody else actually asked earlier about what data is going to be public. Everything you enter on the device is public.
Immediately.
Well, there's a small sync, it could be up to 12 hours, but all the data you put in your device is public. On your actor side, the only piece that is not public is the email address you give for contacting the competent authority. But even the details of your PRRC, including their email address, by the way, that is public. So maybe when you're registering your PRRC, you give them a different email address, so it's not their personal one out there. So all that's going to be public.
Yeah. A question from Henry Green, which says, my German authorized representative cannot provide me a SRN. Now what?
Henry, unfortunately, you cannot register until if I'm presuming you're a non-EU manufacturer, you cannot register until you get your SRN. So either you choose a different authorized representative who already has an SRN, or you just wait. You don't have to register and get your SRN yesterday. You have time. I would advise everybody to get all their device data and all their registrations for the actor module completed as soon as they can. But if you're just waiting for the German authorities to validate your authorized rep, relax. Yeah. Honestly, you do have time. You do have time.
Okay, next one is from Kim. Do end-of-life medical devices also need to be registered with UDID in Udemy?
That's a funny one. I think now, and again, this is just my opinion, and do check with a real regulatory expert like Monir. But in my opinion, the only time you would have to register something like that is if there's a serious vigilance issue.
Exactly. Because so just for people, because I tried to clarify that with everybody, UDI is needed only for EU MDR products. Yeah. Mandatory for EU MDR products. So there is no, in the transition period, it's not saying that for products that are delivered after the 26th of May 2021, you have to have a UDI. No, you don't have to have a UDI if you are still under MDD. So as Richard said, you can deliver your products after the 26th of May 2021 without any UDI information until the end of life of your product, if you still have a certificate or if it is still under the condition of the transition period. But as soon as you'll have an issue on the market, then you'll have to register on Udemy with, as Richard said, all the information we talked about today. Is correct, Richard?
I think so.
Okay. Okay, let me check this one.
I'm just reading a couple of the comments there with Patricia and Romuald.
Yeah, I see that, yeah. How this one maybe, so let's go this one first. How can we have the same UDI for legacy and MDR devices as they won't have the same CE certificate? Change management for UDI. It's not linked, I think. It's not linked.
I don't think so. The different certificates can still have the same number because they're under different regulations, directives. Consider them like two completely separate records in a database.
Yeah, for me also, it's not. There is really no link between MDD UDI number and MDR UDI number. I mean, link in terms of regulation, because MDR is the only one where it's required to have UDI, and before with MDD it's not required. But as we said, that there is some devices that can be have a UDI under FDA. So the idea is not to have like one UDI for FDA, one UDI for EU, one UDI. They can use the same for both products. So you can have a previous UDI under MDD and one under MDR without, I think, without issue. But you are the expert of the platform.
You can have the exact same UDI for both.
Okay.
And when you're like I said earlier, when you're uploading to Udemy, to get it past this central key situation, it's just this B- and D-. But the exact same UDI can be used under both regulation and directive.
Okay. I mean, as I said, I don't know if there is a conflict on the database for that, but for me, in terms of product, normally there is no issue, but I don't know. Antonella says, do you know if Udemy if in Udemy there will be a UDI for investigation and one for devices too or not? I think she's talking about clinical investigation, I suppose. But for clinical investigation, there is no need of UDI number.
No, I would have presumed the clinical investigation would be there before you'd have your UDI.
I mean, the UDI, remember, the UDI is a number for traceability of your product, if it is on the market, so that if we have an issue, we can recall it. Here, on the clinical investigation, your product is not on the market. It's just maybe sent to some centers, but you know where they are, I suppose. It's like segregated and it's like protected to be released to everybody. So you know where they are. So as they are under clinical investigation, I suppose there is no need of, I think, I mean, I read the EUMDR and there was no requirements for that, but maybe I missed a line. As I said, you can read the MDR 10 times and you'll find again a new thing that you never noticed before. But I think for me that there is no need of UDI for clinical investigation here. Let me check quickly if there is something else. For UDI from US and MDR. Is there a maximum number of product data that can be uploaded per registration, mainly under the device module?
Yes.
Really?
Maximum, well, it's per upload.
Per upload, okay.
Per upload.
Okay.
Per XML file, you can have 300 entities, as long as the file is less than 1 megabyte. 300
units like SKU?
300 UDIDIs, 300 entire devices, as long as it's below this 1 megabyte. But you can upload unlimited files.
Okay, so each time you have 300 files, and then when you have 301st, you have to have a new XML file with the next 300 files.
I mean, there's some of the manufacturers that have over 100,000 devices. And they're going to use XML to upload them, and it's 300 per file.
Okay. So I hope it answers the question. So Sean Desrosier, what is meant by this must be registered only as regulation devices in Udemy in reference to registering class 1 legacy devices? For class 1 devices, as they are under MDD, they have, if I can say, no need to be registered under Udemy for now. They will be registered. They should be registered within Udemy as soon as after the 26th of May 2021. If Udemy is available, but apparently it's not. So it's not like you have to do that. But if there is any issue on the market, you have to inform the authorities of this issue. And when Udemy will be live, this is the place where you will be doing that. So remember just one thing. After the 26th of May 2021, all products, unless really exceptions, all products should be EU MDR certified. Not the 27th, not the 28th, not the 1st of July, etc. No, the 26th of May 2021, all products should be EU MDR certified. Okay, those products are self-certified, so no notified body will review that. But if there is any issue on the market and we see that you are not EU MDR certified, then it can be really a big problem for you. So it's why it's really important here. But for class 1 devices, the limit really is the 26th of May 2021. After that, there is no more legacy devices. It should be a EU MDR device. So it's not like a legacy device, etc. So the date of the 26th of May 2021 is really the border, if I can say, between MDD and MDR, and there is no kind of, there is some exceptions, as I've said, for class 1 devices that are up classified under MDR. Then those have still a transition until 2024. And it's all, I think. I mean, for class 1, I think it's all for that. So, but for me, all devices, as soon as Udemy will be registered, will be available, should be there. All class 1 devices should be there. Just maybe yeah. So Natasha, hey Natasha Bankowski, I also interviewed Natasha on my podcast. So thanks for being here. A great discussion. So I missed the start, and maybe this was explained. For legacy devices, you can use GS1 for the basic UDID code, the code generator that Richard has on his website. Which code is this to generate? Okay.
You should not use the GS1 for legacy devices basic UDI, because there's no concept of a basic UDI for legacy devices. It's what the generator I'm providing does. It creates a fake basic UDI. And for legacy devices, you can have one basic UDI, but you're only allowed one UDI-DI with it. So it's a one-to-one relationship. For the MDR side, you've one basic UDI, and you can have multiple UDI-DIs. So in answer to your question, Natasha, the code generator that we're giving away, it creates this fake basic UDI and a fake UDI-DI, or Udame-DI and Eudamed-ID, if you want the correct terminology, only for registering legacy devices in Eudamed that do not have a real UDI-DI. That's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so next one is from Varisai. So Varisai is saying, if a legacy device has many brand names and product codes, so I suppose it's like OEM, OBL, maybe a situation due to different customers and market, does each brand need to have its own Udame-DI?
No.
Udame-DI is a basic UDI-DI, so you can group the same products under this, I think. I don't know.
One-to-one. It's only one-to-one.
On your generator, it's like that. Even if you have the same group of products, it's again a different. No,
what you can do within Eudamed, you'll enter your basic UDI, you'll enter your UDI-DI, but within the UDI-DI section, you can enter multiple trade names.
Okay.
There's no limit to it. You can enter multiple trade names in multiple languages. It can all be put in there. And so for me, I would just do one.
So for one product, you can put all the trade names, all the languages, all the things. Yeah. Okay, so then there is no need to create many Udame-DI number or whatever.
No, just the one, I think.
Okay, then it's fine. Okay, can we put the UDI in the declaration of conformity of a medical device? I think the basic UDI-DI, yes. The UDI, no. I put it usually, the UDI, I put it on a table, an annex table of the declaration of conformity, where I put the name of the device, the classification also maybe, and then I put the UDI-DI, not the PI, because the PI is a changing number, the UDI-DI just for information. But usually on the list, there is mainly the basic UDI-DI that is asked there. Okay, so yeah, I think we have covered most of the questions here, Richard, and we are nearly at the end of the stream. Richard, just maybe for people, yeah, it was really intense. What is great is like it's live questions. It's not like we have to prepare. We prepared that in advance or things like that. So it's like we have to think really carefully.
Yeah, we can't edit this one.
Yeah, just wanted to maybe talk about quickly your training, because you are also providing some trainings for people, because I suppose there is a lot of people asking you those type of questions. So you have to think, you have the trainings, and you have also a service to help those companies to maybe generate all those information to be sent on the Udemy. So can you maybe talk quickly about that before we stop here?
Okay, very quickly. Once a month, we're running Udemy Training. The Udemy Training came along as an accident, because when I left the commission, we were given the impression within the commission that everybody knew everything about Udemy. Everybody knew what was coming. So when I came out and I started talking to companies and explaining how complicated Udemy actually is, it just kind of went over their heads. And I said, right, will I put together a training? So a year and a half later, we've trained hundreds of people. It is thorough training. It's not one of these fluffy things that you turn up and you get a certificate and you can fall asleep in the middle of it. Some of it is quite heavy. Don't forget, Udemy is IT. I break down the IT. I make it very simple. I try and compare uploading data like to emails, things like that. So we do a very thorough training. It's over 2 half days, normally in the afternoons for Europe, early morning for US. At the end of it, you will have a headache. You will have so much information. We'll give you a nice little certificate and about 120 megabytes of data to read about. So our website, anything on the training. If you have any questions, you can always come and talk to me. The next training is 31st of March, I believe.
31st of March 2021. And the next is April 27th to 28th. And this one, May 18th to 19th. So three are already scheduled here.
Yeah. And for software to help companies, we've got 2 or 3 different types, 2 types of software that you can use. We will take the data from our spreadsheets, you use our templates to populate. We'll take the data from there, we'll validate it, give you PDFs of it so you can actually visually validate a little easier, and then we'll give you the XML files to upload. That's the simpler one. The second one, Udemy Plus, is full on. This has the same forms as the actual Udemy system. You've got the full master data management. Either use it for manual upload of XML files, or it can do the machine to machine again. But if anybody wants a demo of any of this, I also give it at the end of the training just to give people an overview of what they can use. But it's all available.
Yeah. No, I think it's important because, as I said, when you have a small company that maybe has 2 or 3 products, it's maybe fine to manage that within their team. But as soon as you start to have a big portfolio, as you said, more than 300 units, then you can maybe have an issue. And what you taught me, if I can say, is that if you make one error on the file, it's rejected. So it's like
completely, yeah. So one little field amongst that 300 entities multiplied by 74 fields. One little error, the entire file is rejected.
So it's important then to not lose any time and to have somebody that is really taking care of that.
No, it is very complicated, and in one sense, it's very unfair on the industry that they've been absolutely dumped with this thing with very little information. But it's just one of those things.
So just for people, maybe because I hear when that says, can you provide the web address? So the web address is Eudamed.EU. So mainly you go just up here. So Eudamed.EU here. And there you have the training section here, and here you have the training schedule, and then you can get all the information about that. So Eudamed.EU. It's easy to remember, I think. Eudamed.EU. So
Monir, I should hire you for marketing.
Yeah. I mean, let's. Johan will not be happy because he's really a marketing guru for me. So if I start to replace him, but no, I will stay out of marketing. It's not really my business. So I'm really happy with all about quality and regulatory affairs. So don't hesitate for people that have missed maybe the whole summer part of the live. I will put that as a replay on my YouTube channel. So just subscribe to the YouTube channel. So Easy Medical Device channel, and then you will get the replay directly from there. Okay, Richard, so really thank you. Thank you also for the audience that were here and really sent us a lot of questions. And thank you for all the questions the answer that you provided. I'm really happy for all the information that you provide to the people. So
a lot of people. Yeah, listen, thanks very much, Monir, and thank you very much to everybody who tuned in as well.
Great. I just see some other question. Please just maybe send that directly to Richard if you want to have some information. So go to LinkedIn page of Richard and you can maybe ask him directly. Okay, Richard. So have a nice day and a nice weekend to everybody. A nice day.
Thanks, Monir.